Драматичные повороты сюжета. Давайте вот не будем об этом спрашивать, это будет правильно. И я знаю, сам журналист, знаю, как хочется иногда хороший такой вопрос, остренький задать. Но я буду вам очень благодарен, и мы все будем вам благодарны, если мы воздержимся от вопросов, связанных с политикой, из очень личных вопросов Крису, потому что, ну, вы сами понимаете, он все равно не ответит на это. Будет такая неприятная ситуация. Поэтому я вам буду очень благодарен, если все вопросы будут так или иначе касаться фильма и темы случая, по которому мы здесь сегодня все собрались. Всем спасибо огромное, буквально еще несколько минут, и мы с вами напоминаем. Да, и последнее, что я хотел сказать, это тоже пожелание артиста, нам запрещено фотографировать за исключением аккредитованных фотографов, как я хотел сказать, очень красиво. Да, их здесь двое. На телефоны тоже, я так думаю, нельзя. Ну да. Да, спасибо вам огромное за понимание. Я надеюсь, что у нас была до этого пресс-конференция с другой артисткой, она прошла потрясающе, так что вы не стесняйтесь, задавайте вопросы. И у нас с вами будет достаточно времени, чтобы обо всем поговорить, все спросить. Я думаю, что будет интересно. Well, welcome to Moscow. And good evening. I hope you enjoyed our city. I've heard that you went to the Red Square already and had some fun over there, right?
Yes, it's so beautiful. Took some pictures. It's like I'm coming to promote the movie, but I'm also a tourist. I want to see everything about this fabulous city.
Oh yeah.
I'll be taking notes.
Oh, please do that. Do not hesitate. Well, please, before everyone starts asking questions, I'd like to ask you a question, please.
Sure.
I have seen the movie and I totally enjoyed it. Great job.
Thank you.
And you've had many movies recently, great movies, where you have major roles, but correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first movie where everything were focused mostly on both of you, right? So it probably was quite challenging because it is a level for the actor, right? When the movie is mostly about that was like one or two people, just a few people. So I'd like to ask you, was it a challenge? How hard was it? Oh yeah, little thing, we forgot about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So how hard was it? Was it something that you really dreamed of and wanted that to happen?
Right. The movies that I've done over the past few years, I've been part of these really fabulous ensembles, and so the responsibility is distributed amongst many actors and characters. And so with this movie, it is primarily just Jennifer Lawrence and myself, and it was a very grueling schedule, several months, maybe 4 or 5 months together, long days of 16 to 20 hours a day. And so in that way, it was more of a challenge because I'm in every shot, so the workload was much more than usual. But that was something about this job that really enticed me and got me really excited. And man, it's such a great script. I love the story so much, and it's a big epic movie in size and scope, and it was a lot of work, but so rewarding, so rewarding.
Well, thank you. Друзья, пожалуйста.
Здравствуйте, Крис, рада вас видеть. Спасибо за фильм.
Видите?
Фильм «Пассажиры» много цитат из кинематографических источников и из литературных. Вы прям-таки пропитаны этими цитатами. Как вы готовились к этому фильму? Что вы смотрели, пересматривали, перечитывали из классики научной фантастики? Спасибо.
Our script was it was on the blacklist. I don't know if you know what that is, but they have this thing called the blacklist, which is essentially really high-profile original scripts. Every year a blacklist comes out. It's an incredible honor to be considered on the blacklist, and this script was on the blacklist. So I really focused all of my attention on the screenplay. I didn't focus on anything outside the screenplay. I know that our director, Morton Tildum, is a big Stanley Kubrick fan, so there were going to be touches of 2001: A Space Odyssey as well as The Shining through the course of this movie. But for us, it was important to focus simply on the story. And that's a testament to how great the script is, because I didn't want to go anywhere else. I didn't want to look elsewhere at all for any inspiration. The story was so good, so airtight. It was such a fabulous script that I kept all of my focus on that story.
Спасибо, пожалуйста. Следующий вопрос.
Yes, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky, and have had an opportunity to work with so many wonderful actresses. And with Jennifer, I mean, I think everybody has an idea of her personality just through the media, because nowadays it's the wall that separates celebrities from the public is very transparent. We have a good idea of what people are like in person. At least we think we do. And with her, I had a sense of who she was before I ever met her, and I really had really high expectations for her with her personality. I expected her to be really funny and cool, and she was. She was all of those things and more. She's truly terrific and wonderful in the movie as well. And so the way the question was,
how was it to work with her? How fun was it?
Oh man, it was really nonstop. It was nonstop fun, and very lucky for me, because in a movie like this, as you had mentioned before, it's just the two of us primarily for the whole movie. So if she was a total nightmare, it would be really hard, you know. And I would have no choice. I would have to engage for many hours a day for several months in a row. So I got very lucky that she is somebody who's easygoing and funny and cool. A funny story that happened when we were together. Maybe 1 week into filming, we're still getting to know one another, and their light bulbs, because the lighting on this movie is so beautiful. But one of the light bulbs exploded. It was just the two of us sitting in our chairs waiting for a scene, and no one else was around, and this light bulb exploded, and it startled us, and she screamed, "Ah!" High pitched, like a very shriek, like how a young lady might shriek. And immediately she said, "Oh my God, Chris, I can't believe you screamed like that." And then everyone the whole time, they thought that I was the one who screamed. So that's the kind of thing she does. She's very funny, very funny. Yeah.
Пожалуйста, Алина.
Вам такой вопрос. Если переложить этот сценарий на реальную жизнь и представить, что главного героя не исполняете, а действительно это вы, да? А героиня Авроры — это ваша супруга Анна. Как вы думаете, как бы она отнеслась, если бы вы действительно так ее разбудили? И второй вопрос. Дело в том, что на пресс-показе нам раздавали действительно пищу, которую питаются космонавты. Я бы хотела, чтобы вы ее попробовали и сказали, смогли бы вы продержаться на них целый год.
Я прошу вас прощения, Алин, за первый вопрос. The first question is a spoiler, as we discussed it before, so we'd like to skip that.
Хотите, попробуйте.
Well,
Он не отравленный, раз организаторы раздавали, я думаю, с ним должно быть все в порядке.
You can just move to the second question easily.
Well, I will just say that I think that it's very important. Oh, that? You want me to eat this?
Just try.
Cottage cheese? Oh man, I'm gonna die on that.
Well, they gave it to us 4 days ago. Just for the
4 days ago?
record. So yeah, you probably want to think twice before you'd like to try
I'll
that.
tell you what, I'm gonna hold on to this. And I'll eat it
Give it to Jen.
in the jet on the way home. Thank you for this. And for the first question that you asked, I think that, like, you know, if I had my wonderful wife Anna on the ship with me, that would be another example of getting very lucky with casting of who I could spend time with. I can't think of there are very few people I can imagine spending that much time in isolation with that I wouldn't get bored or annoyed. Jennifer is certainly one of them, but Anna, my wife, I mean, that would be amazing. It'd be harder for her than it would be for me. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the space food. That looks very appetizing. Thank you.
Пожалуйста, следующий вопрос.
Продолжая тему,
Likewise.
продолжая тему, так сказать, побудки людей, скажем так, на нашем корабле. У меня музыкальное шоу, музыкальный глобус. Я хотел бы вот спросить вас, скажите, вот если бы с вами летела какая-нибудь группа или поп-звезда, то кого бы вы разбудили, так сказать, чтобы вам было там не скучно? Кто вам?
Well, I just want to say this. I know that you guys have so many wonderful readers, and out of respect, I would just kindly ask that we avoid ever bringing up that topic, because I think that if an audience member comes into the movie knowing the circumstances and around the mystery of what wakes these people up, it could diminish the viewing experience. So I really would suggest and request that nobody make that the issue before the movie comes out. I want people to be able to discover that through the course of the movie. But if I could imagine somebody in space that I could spend time with, like my dream, apart from my wife, of course, and my son, like in a fictional sense, man, there's so many. Well, probably Jennifer Lawrence would be one of the people that I would want to spend time with, because she's just so fun. But, man, hopefully whoever it was, hopefully they wouldn't mind how messy I am. Michael Jackson? Nah, maybe not Michael Jackson. It'd be fun to have Michael Jackson on a new planet, but I'm not sure I'd want to spend 90 years with Michael Jackson. Maybe, I guess, the diplomatic answer is I have to say my wife. My wife, that's the answer. That's the answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Пожалуйста. Вот девушка.
Скажите, как вы думаете, у вашего героя Джима и у вас есть что-то общее? И готовы бы вы были поехать или отправиться в космос, покорять новые миры? Например, если бы с вами были ваши самые близкие люди. И второй вопрос, как вам «Русская зима»?
I think that Jim and I are very similar. I think we're very similar. Now, the circumstances that Jim finds himself in, if I were in that same circumstance, I think that I would likely do what he did. You know, he's a man who doesn't have a family. He's a man who is part of living on a planet that no longer needs men like him. He's somebody who can fix things with his hands. He's somebody who's a problem solver, but he's living in a world where he's living in a world where if something is broken, you replace it. You don't require the services of somebody like him. So he's a pioneer. He's somebody who wants to explore the unknown, and he's somebody who wants nature and open spaces. And the Earth that he's leaving in Passengers, no longer is it like the Earth today. It's still the cradle of civilization. It's not a post-apocalyptic movie or anything like that, but it's crowded, it's overpriced, and they have no need for men like him who can fix things with their hands. If something breaks, you just replace it. So if I found myself in his situation, I think I would do the same thing. If there was a possibility that I could be essentially paid by the company to explore a new world and go there, to be a pioneer, to be one of the first people out there, I think I would like to say that I would do that. And as far as your second question, I love it. I love it here. I had no idea. I'd never been to Moscow, and I live in Southern California, so there's no snow. And I also live in Washington State, where there used to be snow, but there isn't anymore. And so I love it. I like to come out here and feel the crisp, cold air and see the snow. And the people have been fabulous as well. So thank you for welcoming me to your city.
Thank you. Well, if you came a month later, maybe you would not enjoy the cold so much. Trust me.
Yeah. Maybe just a day. One or 2 days is okay.
Just like the picture on your website. Yes. Пожалуйста, друзья.
Здравствуйте, Крис, очень приятно вас здесь видеть. Вопрос такой, к фильму выпущено довольно большое количество промо-материалов, в том числе ролики о съемках. И мне очень запомнился один, тот, где вы снимаете съемки сцен в невесомости. И ваши слова о том, что вот работа с тросами, вот этот вот вис-экшен, это вам очень нравится, вам весело, и вы готовы как бы посвятить этому весь день. И сейчас хотелось бы узнать, по завершению съемок, какую часть съемочного процесса вы можете назвать самой впечатляющей, самой, может быть, веселой? Спасибо.
Yeah, there's a great deal of action in this movie, and you know, these two passengers stranded on this starship, as they're falling in love, that love is interrupted by the collapse of the ship. And so there are many just visually stunning sequences as the ship is falling apart. It's really a wild adventure, and in order to create the illusion of zero gravity floating in space, we had to do some pretty intricate wire work, hanging from wires, wearing a spacesuit. The spacesuit was very heavy and probably weighed 50 kilos or something like that. And we would do the scene where I'm floating and fighting, and the problem was consistently that it didn't look like I was floating in space. It looked like I was wearing a 75-pound spacesuit hung from wires from the ceiling. And so that became a real challenge. And the wire work is already pretty difficult. You wear these harnesses that are like a belt around your waist and through your legs. It's not the greatest, most comfortable way to be suspended in the air, especially with a heavy suit on. And so, at the end of the day, in order to capture the illusion of zero gravity, we used a combination of animation and practical effects. And so that was definitely the hardest, the most difficult. The funniest was just how Jen was not going to do it. She would just say, "No, I'm not doing it." Now I will be like, "I've been doing this for 2 straight days and we just haven't got it quite right yet." And she was like, "Huh, I'll give you 2 chances. And if you don't have it, you're gonna have to figure something out." And I think that's why much of those sequences became animated. Yeah.
But did she do that in the end?
In the end, she did it. Yeah, she did it. But she was not happy.
Okay. Thank you. Пожалуйста. Да.
Очень рад вас здесь видеть. Спасибо вам большое за фильм, за сегодняшнюю презентацию. Действительно очень ценно. Но здесь уже упоминали вашу работу с Дженнифер Лоуренс. И такой вопрос. Вы сказали, что вы уже имели представление о ней как об актрисе, прежде чем начали вашу совместную работу. А по какому фильму она вам запомнилась особенно? И смотрели ли вы «Голодные игры»? Если да, то когда и при каких обстоятельствах? Но если нет, знает ли она об этом? Если еще не смотрела, знает ли она об этом?
No, I've seen it. I had seen Hunger Games before I met Jennifer. The movie for me that I really fell in love with her acting was Silver Linings Playbook. I think she plays such an emotionally raw and volatile character in that. I mean, she won an Oscar for that performance. I think she's so fabulous in that, and raw and a combination of fragile and strong that's really difficult to balance. I definitely saw Hunger Games, and she's great. I think she's great in those movies, and obviously she's got a ton of fans because that movie has such a far reach from the books and then also from the appeal of the movie. And yeah, I think it's awesome. I think anytime you can do a movie like she did with Hunger Games and create a passion for archery in young women, I think that's amazing. Like apparently after that movie came out, the sales of archery equipment for young girls went up like 10,000%. So we've got all these young girls running around with bows and arrows, so you better watch out.
Девушка, вот на третьем ряду, пожалуйста.
Здравствуйте, очень рада видеть вас тут. Я подготовилась. И, так как тут Стар-Лорд в виде Джеймса Бонда, я не могла не задать вопрос. Джим на корабле очень много общается с барменом, пьет виски. И как Крис Пратт, кого бы вы хотели видеть своим барменом на протяжении 90 лет? И какой напиток вы бы заказывали?
Well, first of all, thank you for that awesome shirt. That's so awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which is coming out in May. The trailer just came out. I know we're not here to talk about that, but I'm so proud of that movie. I can't wait for you to see it. Man, 90 years, a barman? Whoa. Who would I want? I would want, it would have to be somebody really funny. It'd have to be somebody really funny. Maybe, that's a big question. I mean, naturally I want somebody close to me like my brother or like a good friend, you know, but if it was somebody like famous, man, I would maybe take, I don't know, Jim Carrey? I'll make Jim Carrey be my bartender for 90 years. We just talk about Dumb and Dumber the whole time. Oh, what drink? Vodka.
Straight vodka.
Straight vodka. Yeah, probably straight vodka.
Now we know that the leading message in all the news tomorrow will be straight vodka for Chris Pratt.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Good. That's
You
great.
made it. Like, you made it. Друзья, пожалуйста, следующий вопрос.
Очень рада сегодня вас видеть здесь. К теме Дженнифер Лоуренс. В вашем графике вы успеваете вести Инстаграм, и последний фото довольно забавный. Вы зачем обрезаете Дженнифер?
Am I gonna ever do a photo with Jennifer?
That you cut her out.
Yeah, I frame her out. Well, why? Well, it's funny. You know, I'll tell you why, because she's got such amazing fans. Very, very passionate fans. And I open up my phone on Instagram or Twitter or something and it says, please, give us the picture with Jennifer. We want the picture with Jennifer. We want the picture with Jennifer. Oh, please. And I think, no. But I tell you this, there's some really great pictures coming up that I promise I will give you a tremendous picture with me and Jen. Just stay tuned and you'll see. It's coming very soon. Did you like that one? Her on the jet? Yeah, I think it's funny too because she doesn't have social media. She doesn't do any of that, so she has no idea that any of this is going on. Oh, she's gonna find out, she's gonna kill me. It's gonna be great.
Пожалуйста. Ну вот, как вам больше нравится?
Крис, скажите, пожалуйста, вот сейчас вы снимаетесь в фантастических экшн-фильмах. А хотели бы попробовать себя в совершенно другой роли и в совершенно другом жанре? Спасибо.
Yes, of course. I really looked at this as something totally different and unlike anything I'd ever done before, and I think that's very appealing to me. I think trying different things, being able to challenge myself, to try different things, that's very important to me. To try to surprise audience members. I really think that this character is different than anything I've played before, and when I read it, I recognized that, and it was one of the many things that made me so excited about doing this project. I think I'm open to trying just about anything, you know. I want to work with great filmmakers, I want to tell good stories, and I want to continue to challenge myself, and it's a constant learning process doing a job like my job. And I want to continue to learn and keep growing as an actor. I think the only way to really learn and to grow is to challenge yourself in that way. So thank you for that question. I would like to try different things if possible.
Спасибо.
Я бы хотела продолжить как раз-таки тему разнообразных жанров. В этом году вы снимались в классном вестерне «Великолепная семерка». Вот на данный момент это фантастическая мелодрама. Могли бы мы вас ждать или ожидать от вас какой-нибудь психологической драмы? И хотели бы в этом сняться? И вот так. Спасибо.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be terrific. That's some of my favorite movies. Would be psychological dramas. I really love movies like that. I think that would be really fun to do. You know, I think there's a certain. I'm kind of a goofy person in real life. You know, I'm always making jokes and never really take myself seriously. And that's bled into a lot of the characters that I've played. I think my natural personality tends to come out in some of the characters that I'm playing. If it's Star-Lord or I did a TV show called Parks and Recreation. There's a I don't know if you watched it. You've seen that here. And so I think my personality, oftentimes I get put into roles that are similar to my personality. And now that I'm in a point in my career where I can start being a little more selective in the things that I choose to participate in, I think I will move towards some things that are different and things that are, it's like, for instance, a psychological drama. I think that would be terrific, especially with a really great director who could help guide me through that. I think that'd be really terrific. I would like that a lot.
Спасибо. Молодой человек очень давно уже держит руку, давайте ему дадим возможность.
Спасибо.
Wow. There are amazing filmmakers out there. It's funny because 5 years ago, I made a video on my phone making a joke about working with Steven Spielberg, and I put it online because I was doing something for Parks and Rec. I can't remember, some behind-the-scenes footage. I was making a video, and I said I pretended like Steven Spielberg was calling me to ask me to be in a movie, and at the time it seemed like a joke. And since then I did Jurassic World, worked for Steven, and so I think it's important to put it out there that so I would love to work with Quentin Tarantino. So when he sees this press conference, I really hope that he knows that I have my eye on him and I want to work with him. That'd be amazing. Maybe I should pretend Quentin Tarantino's calling me. Oh wait, hold on, that's Quentin Tarantino.
That's a good line.
It's Quentin. No, there's a lot of terrific filmmakers out there. So many great filmmakers out there. I'd like to work with all of them. And also I'd like to help maybe to develop some young filmmakers as well, and now that I'm at a point in my career where if I lend my name to something, it could help in developing it, getting it made, I might be able to give an opportunity to some up-and-coming directors. It's really going to be about really great stories, really great screenplays, and then also working with terrific directors in any capacity. There's so many out there that I can think of, but I don't want to name them all. But Martin Scorsese would be pretty cool too,
Спасибо. Дорогие друзья, у нас остается возможность задать один вопрос, поэтому пусть он будет самым классным. Вот. Подумайте, у кого такой вопрос может быть. Сейчас не подведите.
In English, please.
In English?
Yes.
You want to ask in English?
I
Yes,
want
sure.
to ask you, Chris, all ask you about your job.
I'm sorry. I'll ask you about your job. I want to know, you are a very famous person, and maybe you don't have free time. Have you free time, and what you like to do in that time, and have you a hobby? Please ask.
Oh yeah. In my free time, I like to go fishing. My wife and son and I have a house in Washington State in the Puget Sound, and it's on the water, on the salt water, on the sea. And we go crabbing and fishing and boating, and I try to spend a good amount of time every year there with them, because that's home for us. And so in my downtime, I like to get outside and get outdoors and, you know, shut off all my devices and my phone and my computer and just get out into nature and kind of get back in touch with the earth and with the water. And, you know, I like to fish, and I also like to hunt as well. Those are my things I like to do.
Well, Chris, thank you.
Thank you
so much.
so much.
Thank you. You have a good sense of humor. That's really great. Thank you.